So in your question thrown merit in who you choose.
Yes.
How are you succeeding to the extent that maybe the next time out, if there's a Christian ticket, there will be no complaints whatsoever? People will look at it based on merit.
Yes, I hope we'll get there. We are not there yet. I'm sure that my choice of a Muslim running mate, so to say, will be problematic for some people. But after 4 years, when they see that it really did not matter, it did not change the way we formulate and implement policies, I think we'll begin to advance towards that utopia of the religion and the ethnicity of a person not mattering. That's where I want to take my state. That's where I want Nigeria to be.
What's the agenda towards that goal?
The agenda is to ensure that the discussion on where you come from, the way you worship God, does not go into government offices, does not go into public policy.
Do you see that happening?
It is already happening in Kaduna. And we are going to continue to advance it. And I think if Kaduna is able to do it, the rest of Nigeria can do it. It will not happen in one election cycle. It will not happen overnight. But we have to start. We cannot continue like this. This country is falling apart because everybody takes sides with its ethnic group or religious affiliation. And it is destroying the country. It is making us underperform in every way. And it just has to end. And if Kaduna is the one that will be the guinea pig, if I am the one that will advance that agenda, I will start it.
Okay. So, let's go to one of the issues that you talked about.
Just to follow up on that one before you go to that one. Pardon me. So what exactly do you mean when you say when you had your current deputy governor is a Christian? Has he succeeded in changing anything? Yeah. Does that mean that he's a failure?
What is a failure?
You're choosing him and
no,
his position
I am saying, no,
and the impact he has had.
I'm saying that the policy of allocating the deputy governorship slot to a Christian in Kaduna State, which has been more or less the unstated policy since 1992, has not succeeded in advancing unity, in advancing the integration of the Christian and Muslim communities in Kaduna. In fact, one of the worst rounds of violence we've had in the state was in 1992, exactly when James Bawa Magaji was the first Christian deputy governor, elected deputy governor of Kaduna State.
Will the Muslim tickets make a difference?
I don't know. I'm ready to try. What I'm saying is the Muslim-Christian ticket, the Christian-Muslim ticket, has not delivered on the promise. So what is wrong with trying something else?
So, gentlemen, this is really very, very interesting because, as we all know, it's been problematic over the years, all over Nigeria, since this religious sentiment. What exactly fuels it? Because
I think what fuels it is this. History has shown, and I think this started around the mid-90s under the military. History has shown that you can get what you don't deserve by advancing your ethnic or religious affiliation. You can avoid sanctions by hiding behind your tribe, your region, or religion when you're wrong, when you're clearly wrong.
Isn't that also a function of leadership? Because some people, just as you have said now, some people in leadership, excuse me, some people in leadership actually give vent to it when
they... I agree. I agree. This is why I mentioned the time I think it started, because I'm as old as Nigeria. I have lived this. I don't read history of Nigeria only before I was born. I have seen how this country has metamorphosed. I have lived under a parliamentary system of government, the military and everything, and I've been part of some of the governments. I think some governments that lack legitimacy deliberately introduced this in the polity. In 1992, we elected Chief Moshood Abiola and Baba Gana Kingibe as president and vice president, both Muslims. It was not even an issue for discussion. But by 1995-96, it had become an issue because the government of the day pushed the agenda of division. Now it has become part of our lives, okay? If you want to get ahead, you push your ethnic or religious agenda and hope that, you know, the person at the other end will be sympathetic to it. And my point is this. My point is we need to draw a line and stop this. It has not taken us anywhere. And those of us that are leaders ought to be reflective and stop, you know, encouraging or advancing this agenda. One of the most painful things I've experienced in the last few 2 weeks was the statement by the governors of the South, you know, justifying that non-declaration of assets is nothing, it's a non-issue, because the Chief Justice of Nigeria is from the South. This is the sort of thing we've seen. Wrong is wrong, right should be right, and leaders should advance that. We can't do it all the time, all right? Sometimes it's not black and white, it's a bit of gray. But we must stand for something that is right.
That particular issue
and it has not taken us anywhere.
That particular issue is growing so much since you've delved into that. But one wonders, because Mr. President says that until Saturday he didn't know about the prosecution of the CJN.
Yeah.
Who is then pushing this?
Why should he know about it?
Who is then pushing it?
Let us please stop this personalizing institutions. Why should the president know about prosecution of anyone? Won't you be worried if the president is worried about knows about every prosecution?
But that's a high-ranking
institutions should allow
head.
to work. Listen, institutions should be allowed to work. I am the governor of the state of Kaduna State. The Constitution requires I declare my assets before being sworn in, and the Constitution also specifically, in very plain language, this is not law, so we don't need lawyers to tell us this. What if
the Attorney General of your state, Kaduna State, was being charged to court? Are you saying that you shouldn't even know about it? He can go to court without you knowing?
I don't have to know. If the Attorney General of Kaduna State goes and murders and rapes someone and the police arrests him, I don't need to know. They should charge him to court or her to court. My Attorney General is a woman. Institutions should be allowed to work, and we should stand up to protect the integrity of institutions. Saying that the president doesn't know, I think it's a compliment to the president. It shows that he does not interfere with institutional frameworks and he doesn't get involved in this. But what is right, what is wrong, and I think we should stand up for that. We should cease being legalistic, we should cease being ethnic and religious, otherwise this country would not go anywhere.
Yeah, but Your Excellency, when you say wrong is wrong, does that suggest in some quarters that they've already adjudged him wrong, because we still have the presumption of innocence in the country?
But the man has admitted that I did not declare my assets. I forgot. Look,
but you're still in court.
If it was Chamberlain, if the matter was simply the Code of Conduct Bureau has made an allegation and they have filed charges in the tribunal, I will presume innocence. But I have seen a written statement by my Lord the Chief Justice saying that yes, I have these accounts. Yes, I did not declare them, but I forgot. Forgetting is not a defense in law.
Yeah, but you also remember that if that were the case, if they could stop at that, they won't go to court or the CCT. So to the extent that they've also taken it to the appropriate institution, or it's still in contention, or whether or not it should go to NJC or CCT.
It is not in contention. Lawyers are just being morally flexible and playing with
but it's there in the Constitution that you must summon the CJN to the NJC first before you can go somewhere else.
It's not in the Constitution. Look, the Constitution is very, very clear. If the matter has to do with code of conduct for public officers, the only court, the only tribunal vested with the power to try violations of that code is the Code of Conduct Tribunal. That Code of Conduct Tribunal can try everyone, including the president, if he violates the Code of Conduct. It's very clear in simple language in the Constitution. Now, the NJC is supposed to take petitions on the professional misconduct of judges. If a judge kills or steals, it is not NJC, it is the regular courts. You cannot say that the NJC is a self-appointed court, a special court that will first have to clear judges before they go through regular courts. It is saying that judges have immunity that the Constitution has not contemplated. Only the president and the governors have immunity in the Constitution.
Well,
all this playing with words, for me, that is not even the issue. The issue is this. The Code of Conduct for Public Office requires you to declare your assets. All of us. Have you declared your assets? Yes. Right? Have you declared all your assets? No, I have not. The Chief Justice has admitted it. Okay? So there is no issue whether I have done it or not done it. His defense is I've forgotten. That is not a defense in law, and he knows it. He's a lawyer. Well, okay? So all these things about, but what is worrying for me is the fact that, one, all of a sudden we have no regard for institutions. Okay? Political parties are getting involved in issuing statements. My colleagues, governors, that ought to know better, are issuing statements based on where the Chief Justice came from. That is wrong. That is sad.
But it's not going to be tenable in the CCT, whatever anybody else has done. Is it the facts that are before the CCT and perhaps the courts will be the one that will be determined?
I know, but public commentary by leaders should advance the cause of institutions and unite us. You cannot say that he is a crook, but he is my crook, so he should be let go. This is an attitude in Nigeria that has the capacity to destroy the country. Look, if when Babachir Bidi Lawal as SGF was being investigated and so on, and all the facts about his misconduct came out, and Northeast governors met and issued a statement that, you know, yes, he has done that, but he's from Northeast, so he should not go. Where would Nigeria be? If we continue to apply these standards, Kenny Adioshun, what if Southwest governors met and said, well, you know, she made a mistake, she got a fake certificate, but she's from Southwest, so she's immune from being asked to resign.